That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to which Notre Dame team will we see this week against UNLV edition of the Always Irish Show. Wait a second. I'm just noticing I'm looking on the screen and it looks like I'm in 3D or I'm a hologram. Is that just me or are you guys seeing that too? This pattern on this shirt with these tight lines. I almost look like a hologram. So that's a little trippy, but you know what? That's okay. Because what's happening with Notre Dame right now has everybody tripped out anyways. So let's roll with this hologram edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. It helps as well. If it's tripping you out 3D style, give it a thumbs up. Notifications on. You'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. Good or bad, I'll be here. You know that. Good or bad, I will be here and we'll get through it together one way or the other, folks. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish Rat, Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You could get me. 312-900-8815 is the call-in line. Monday was popping. I don't know when I'm going to release this. Maybe by then I'll say Wednesdays was popping too. Wait and see. But the phones are for you and me. Know that. Other thing is, hey, I'm fighting. I am fighting this seasonal congestion I get every year in the fall and the spring. When the weather turns warm to cold, I get all stuffed up, can't even see straight for a week or two. Same thing in the spring when we go from cold to warm. Forgive me if my voice is imperfect and I sound a little stuffed up. I'm fighting it this week. So, here we are, folks. Ready to be heard again. What do we make of this ball game given the instability we are currently experiencing as Notre Dame fans? Let's start with a couple general thoughts. This is a home game. You cannot afford to start slow against UNLV, against a home crowd again. You can't. You just can't. They want to see, need to see, are begging for a reason to buy in. You can't fall flat on your face right out of the gates at home again. You just can't do it. Last week, 3 and out, false start to start, kick the ball to them, let them go right down and score a touchdown. You can't. You can't have that again. I almost wish this game was at UNLV. Not an away game at Ohio State, at the Horseshoe, or Clemson. No. But at UNLV, go for it. I think the team would feel more free and have less pressure in an away environment with not a lot of smoke around it, but one like UNLV. Why I say that is interesting, because we just played and won on UNLV's home turf in Las Vegas. Everything in Notre Dame land's messed up and it's ass backwards right now. Everything. So that's where we won a big ball game on their turf, but not playing them against BYU in Vegas. It's wild. It's wild. So a part of me does genuinely wonder. I'm not kidding you. This is tripping me out. Every time I move, it's like 3D. Unbelievable. I can't get anything to go my way. Not feeling well, go to record a video, and I'm a hologram in 3D. Just can't catch a win, you guys. So, I'm just saying, things are going to be weird at home. Things are going to be weird at home. And Notre Dame, by the way they played at home, has created this dynamic they have to now work through. So, that's the first thing. You can't afford another slow start against an allegedly inferior opponent again. The home crowd might boo you in the first quarter. Sitting there cold with a few losses, wondering what I'm looking at, what I'm doing here. Can't afford it. You can't. Can Notre Dame get back to doing the basics well this week? Better tackling, maybe a better executed and called offensive scheme. O-line, get back to moving people around a little bit. I don't know. So, dangerous combo. Fan base on edge, cold, opponent that brings no juice at all. Dangerous. Combined with the way we're playing, dangerous. So you better get off to a good start, or this could be iffy all day. All right? Now, the good thing is, the game's on Peacock, so at least this isn't going to be national. Only us. We're the only ones that are going to see this one, folks. It's off TV. Off TV. All of that being said, UNLV comes in 4-3 from the fancy Mountain West Conference. Last two ball games lost to Air Force 42-7. Mighty San Jose State dismantles them 40-7. This makes you say, Mr. Notre Dame fan, Miss Notre Dame fan, hey, we should kill these guys coming in our place. Haven't you learned anything yet? Notre Dame, a 24.5-point favorite before I recorded this. Ultimate, not so fast, my friend. You can't trust anything with Notre Dame right now. You cannot trust anything. They have not earned it. They don't deserve it. Very awkward place to be, and I hate it. I hate where I reside currently. Can't trust anything. Can't say we're trending up. Let's build on this or that. No. No. You're starting from ground zero. Question it all. Trust nothing. UNLV has life in this ball game because we gave Marshall and Stanford life at our place. At our place. That is the worst part of all of this. Allowing legitimate hope to undermanned opponents that shouldn't have it at home. But the roadmap's there. And if I am UNLV, man, my motivational angle is so simple. I put on the Marshall film, put on the Stanford film, show those point spreads, and say, look what they did at their place. We're going to be next. I hate it. I hate that that's available for them to go to, but we've allowed it. We've allowed it. That's on us. That's our fault. So, what are you going to get out of Notre Dame? Are you going to show up, act like you care, act like you're competent? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. That's why it's so hard to do a game preview like this. When it just all got burnt down, there's nothing to grow from or expand out of, or no. You're starting at ground zero. Anything's possible, good or bad. And that is just a very sad place to be halfway through the year. Doug Brumfield, UNLV quarterback. I think I read he didn't play the last game for undisclosed reasons, but is expected to play against Notre Dame. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 137 yards rushing, 20 per game, 48 carries, scored 5 times on the ground. Aiden Robbins, team's leading rusher, averages 85 a game, 125 carries, 8 TDs. Courtney Reese, not related to Tommy, different spelling. 217 yards. Okay. 31 per game on 37 attempts. Ricky White, 444 receiving yards, 63 per game, leads the team. 33 receptions, 4 touchdowns. That's a guy. Have your eye out. Maybe, I don't know, turn around and look to see if a ball's thrown that way this week so you can play defense against it. Might be a good idea. Nick Williams, also in the mix. Averages 36 yards per reception. 1 touchdown, 16 receptions total. They're averaging 29 a game, averaging 136 on the ground, 85th in the country. They give up 28 a game. But all these are against Cal and Mountain West. I don't know what to read off them. How do I say this? It's annoying that I have to break down the stats of UNLV like I do Ohio State or Clemson or USC or something. These are games, Marshall, Stanford, Cal, these are all games that should just be about Notre Dame getting better, about where we're at and using these games to get to the next step. We're just not there. So I got to look at all these numbers and take them more seriously than I probably should. The team always has to take everybody's numbers seriously. I'm not them. I should be able to look at a week against Marshall or this team and look at where we need to get better and take advantage to prepare for the better opponents coming at us. The team doesn't have that luxury. I should, but I don't either. So, they allow on average 214 through the air, 164 on the ground. And again, that's against Mountain West competition. 368 allowed total, 68th in the nation. But again, it's against Mountain West. I don't know how to gauge that. And then apply it to like our week to week. I just don't. They allowed over 400 yards rushing to Air Force. I look at that and I see that Air Force ran it for over 400. My next question is, what can we do? Who knows? I trust nothing. They gave up 406 rushing yards to Air Force. I want to say Notre Dame should be able to do that, but I'm not sure I believe it. This is such a grind. This is so frustrating. And it's like, it's a double-edged sword here. These guys allow a lot. So did Stanford. So did Marshall. So if you take this opportunity in front of you as an effort to get yourselves right, it could be great that you're playing UNLV. But if you don't, and the game starts to look like Marshall, most of Cal, and Stanford, man, this is going to turn on you fast. This is going to be a double-edged sword. You got to get off to a good start. You just have to this week. Even if you do take it to them and play well. Football's cumulative. College football is the most cumulative sport there is in the regular season. Even if you pound this team, it's still going to be so frustrating because you're doing it with 3 losses and it's like too little, too late, other than development in the future. But it's like this year's cashed out. That is so frustrating. But can you get back to power running the ball when Air Force did it for 400 plus? Is that not the easiest place to start this week as far as the offense and trying to get something going? You had the big Merriweather play, 5 receptions for Mayer. All the other wide receivers, 2 catches last week. Not good enough. So looking at them giving up 400 plus to Air Force on the ground, is that not the easiest place to start? Maybe get some new wide receiver personnel out there and in some new route concepts. I realize watching the tape again, there were more guys getting open Pine didn't see than a lot of us want to recognize. But still, this is a grind and a struggle that looks too hard. It looks harder than it has to be. Find some easier routes or something that are easier for Pine to see, guys to get open in. I don't know, man. Work on you. You need to badly, and you have a chance at home. Man, this is just rough. Us on defense, they scored 58 and 52 this year, but against Idaho State and North Texas. I just can't judge off that. And then a low-scoring game against Cal, overlapping opponent, I can't judge against either because we were so bad against Cal most of the day. It's just tough. I just can't judge it. Add in how we may or may not play good or bad or show up. I don't know. Stop early runs would be a good start. Improve your tackling. Turn and look at balls thrown to you. Get some turnovers we're in desperate need of. So, does Notre Dame just roll over, play dead, lose a third dumb game here? Do they half-ass it, barely win and get by? Or do you show you're mad and dominate this opponent? I repeat again, Mayer and Freeman were the only two that looked sufficiently devastated to me after the game. Rewatched it on TV. Those two guys look like they were devastated and realized the gravity of what they allowed to just happen. Every one of these 12 games is sacred. And I am not sure everybody involved in this program realizes that as much as they need to now. That's unacceptable. Where is your pride? How they handle this week's going to tell me a lot about how Marcus tried to handle this between Stanford and this game and put out the fire and get guys on the right track. How's it going to look? How we handle this game is going to tell you a lot about how Freeman tried to navigate it in the between week. Really annoying spot. Should just be about us working on us, but it's not. We're not good enough for that. It's going to be a weird dead vibe in that stadium. The team has to provide a spark. Do they care to do so? Point two, if they care to do so, do they know how to put it into action? Those are two different questions. All right? Not a good place to be at all, folks. You need to save face, look decent in a win, and get back to the drawing board. But ultimate double-edged sword. This team can be taken advantage of. But you got to do the right things. Put yourself in place to do it. I don't trust that we can right now. Settle down the home crowd, play decent football, get a win, and we go from there.